Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of operational word problems. This is standard 7.3b in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 5 of the 2024 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so the family is recording the amount of milk they use every day for 4 days. Got these 4 days right here. The table shows the results. 3/16, 3/8, 1/8, 1/4. Why in the world are they recording their milk usage in fractions? We don't know. What we do need to figure out is how much milk they have left after 4 days if they started with 1 gallon. All right, so we're assuming they haven't used the entire thing. So let's draw a strip diagram to show the relationship here. They're starting with 1 gallon, which means that's my hole. That's my starting point. So I'm just going to draw something that looks like this. 1 gallon, that's the milk. And then really, and I'm not going to try to draw these proportionally here, what they have here is they've used 3/16 on day 1, they've used 3/8 on day 2, they use 1/8 on day 3, and they used 1/4 on day 4. So really what we're looking for, how much they have left after 4 days. What's that? What's my leftover? Well, we can see in this relationship here, right? If I can find the total of all of these 4, add those up, I can subtract that from my whole, and then we'll see what we have left. Now, basically, this is asking us to add a whole bunch of fractions, and that's going to be difficult to do if we don't have a common denominator. I'd rather change these fractions to common denominator than we could turn them all into decimals if we wanted to. I don't really enjoy turning 3/16 into a decimal, though that is technically possible, but take a look at our answer selections. They're all fractions. Even if I did change these to decimals, to add them up, I'd have to change it right back into a fraction to get an answer. So let's just stick with fractions. So I'm looking at common denominators here. And this is what I'm seeing here. So my common denominator needs to be something that I could use with 16ths, 8ths, 8ths, and 4s. Hopefully we see it, but if you don't see it, let me show you how to figure it out. What we do is we list out our 16s, our 8ths, and our 4s, right? And if we list out our 4s, we see, oh goodness, look, I've got an 8 right there. And if I list out a 16, I say, look, I've got a 16 in both of those. So if I just keep going on my 4s, I'm going to get 16s. So my least common denominator is going to be 16, which means I don't need to do anything to this 3/16. It's good. I do need to do something to each of these other fractions. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply each of these fractions by something to get to our desired denominator of 16. So let's kind of set it up like this. So what can I multiply 8 by to get to 16? Well, it's 2 of them, right? So 8 times 2 makes 16, which means my numerator needs to be 2 because we're just multiplying by 1. 2 over 2 equals 1. Anything times 1 is itself. So that's really 6/16. 8 times what makes 16? It's 2. So really 1/8 is the same as 2/16, right? And this 4 here, it was 4. So that's going to be 4 over 4. So that's 4/16. So now I've got a whole bunch of 16ths. I've got 3/16 plus this 6/16 plus the 2/16 and the 4/16. So what do I have here? I've got 3 and 6 is 9. And these two are going to be 6. So 9 and 6 make 15/16, which is an answer selection, which I don't want. And I bet a lot of students are going to choose that. Remember, all of this makes 15/16. I'm looking for what's left. Well, the only thing that could be left, I don't even need to subtract this from 1 gallon because we know that 15/16 is 1/16 away. So instead of selecting 15/16, which is my subtotal, we need to subtract it. So 1 whole, or 16/16, minus the 15/16 is going to get us what we have as our left, and that's going to be 1/16 D.